Have you ever heard the comment that you should lift in a right way? Well, what in earth is the right way and what kind of lifting methods are there? In this video, we'll burst through these lifting techniques and what the literature says about how we should lift. In everyday life, lifting is unavoidable. It occurs in daily activities at the gym or even at the shopping trips. The interesting thing behind that the lifting is generally associated with the back problems and is often blamed for the back symptoms. So in this clip, we'll take a peek at a few different lifting mechanisms and consider how different lifting techniques change the body load and how we should lift. There are three different techniques of lifting. Lifting with the straight leg, stoop lift, squat lifting, and partial squat lifting, meaning semi-squat lift. There is no one-size-fits-all answer for the lifting, meaning that one method doesn't surpass all the other for everyone. We'll all probably have been preached about the lifting that it should be done with the legs, not with the back. And in doing so, we favor the repetitive force of the legs. If we think about power output, the legs can provide forces of hundreds of kilos. The back extensor muscles tend to have tens of kilos and the small rotator muscles of the back just few kilos of force. Wasmund 2022 article went through really good perspective on lifting. Important in lifting is to first calm the tissue, then increase the load bearing capacity and then refine it to the work and leisure time loads. In this article, there is a Greg Legman theory of physical stress used on the background. First, the tissue needs to be calmed from the pain so we can move better in lifting event. If we have a pain present in the structures, then the movement patterns may not be optimal or we use our body in monotonous way. After that, when we start training the structures, then we are increasing the strength and the endurance. Once strength and endurance has been trained up, then we must refine all the work what we may even counter in our daily lives. If we think about metabolic mechanisms of the lifting event, energy consumption, oxygen need and the heart rate, they are clearly elevated when doing squat or partial squat lift compared to lifting with the straight legs. Since lifting with the straight leg is less taxing to the body, then it's favored in events what are likely to be numerous or when the repetition numbers start to increase. If you want this content useful, I warmly recommend to subscribing to the channels. On this channel you get information related to ergonomics and health every other week, and it supports the channel growth immensely. Thank you for that. If we think about the kinematics of the different lifting events, how the movement occurs, in lifting with the straight leg, there is a greater thoracic spine forward bending. In squat lifting, it must come between the shin and the thigh. From the knee joint, you need a really large flexion, and in the upper ankle joint, must really flex upwards to get down low enough into the squat. In partial squat lifting, there is a nice combination of these two. And if, for example, knee, ankle or thoracic spine movement restrictions are about to hinder, then this movement pattern is likely to be favored. When chewing through different movement patterns and pondering which structure is loaded and how, clearly the squat technique favors training of the quadriceps muscle. Straight leg lifting is good for the posterior chain, especially for the muscles at the back and the thigh and back extensors. So it's important in training to consider moving patterns that does not cause overload already loaded structure, especially if the structures cannot properly take the load at the moment. What if we have a pain present during the lifting? Pain is a sensation and it's our brain's way to tell that something is threatening us. Initially, it's important to change the lifting event so that the client tissues can calm down. If in a reception situation language is used that you should never lift with the round back, then indeed we are giving poor information about the lifting to the client. Rather, we guide the client to use different lifting technique so the tissues can calm down and the pain can be managed. After the situation has calmed down, then it's necessary to start developing the load-bearing capacity of the tissue and also explain to the client that if or when the back pain intensifies, then it's sensible to change the activity slightly in a direction that doesn't unnecessarily aggravate already loaded structures. In this way, we can guide the client how they can control amount of the pain and still remain functions even though the symptoms has flared up. Comment down below for the lifting technique what suits you the best and thumbs up to the video. Thanks. If you want to hear more about the back symptoms and how to deal with them in the long run, check this video out and thank you for your time.